Hey folk, welcome back. So not too long ago on the channel, I did a video where I ranked all of the core signature Monster High dolls from Generation 1, but instead of doing a tier list like I usually do when I rank things on this channel, I did a worst to best situation. So nothing could be tied. It had to be what's the worst all the way up to what is the absolute best. And today we're going to be doing the same format, but for the G3 signature core dolls. There are significantly fewer. There's only 21 this time as opposed to I think it was 69 last time. I'm pretty sure that's what it was. Something like that. So a lot fewer dolls. So this is going to be a bit shorter of a video, but it's going to be the exact same format. Just like with that one, I am using the first releases for each of these dolls. So we did get the entire core refresh lineup. Those are not going to be accounted for. We're ranking the first looks for the dolls. Some characters like Heath and Twyla were introduced in lines that weren't a core lineup. It's not really a signature release necessarily, but that is the first time that they came out in this generation. So we're going to be using those dolls. So there's a little bit of inconsistency in terms of quality and stuff like that, just like there was in the Gen 1 ranking, but I'm just doing it in the fairest way that I see fit. So that is what we're going to be doing today. Of course, these are just going to be my opinions. It's totally fine if you disagree with how I rank these dolls. Just do please be kind about it if you want to express that in the comments down below. But without further ado, let's jump on into it. So obviously we are going to be going worst to best just because I feel like this would be kind of a boring video if I was just hey, here's my favorite. Now let's talk about the shit ones. I don't know. This is how you format videos like this. So for today's video, it is 21st place. And unfortunately, that is going to go to Heath Burns. I don't hate this doll. Okay, I just think he could be so much more. I do understand that this outfit is accurate to the outfit that he wore in the G3 show, the Nickelodeon show. I have questions about that. This was, as I said in the intro, a core look because it's his first introduction to the doll line, but it's not really a signature look. He didn't come in the, standalone box with all of the tons of accessories. He was a technically budget release because he was from the Scared Island lineup. So there is inherently a little bit less budget put into him. And I think maybe the reason he didn't get a different better outfit design that was different to his animated counterpart was just because this did fit in with the swim theme of the line. So I do think his outfit is just a little bit underwhelming. I think it could have been better. I think Heath is a character that could be dressed nicely. Hi, Miss Weiss. Do you agree with me? Do you think Heath has potential? I don't know. I think he does have potential as a base doll. I just think from his clothing design and also the fact that he was released in not a true core fashion, he just kind of didn't hit the mark there. I do really like the fire hair. It is slightly transparent and I think that that's really, really cool. I will say, and I have this complaint about every single one of the G3 boys, not that there's a ton, but I think the reason that I dislike their faces is because for some reason they just aren't allowed to have eyes that really seem like they fit the same look as all of the other G3 characters, all of the non-binary and ghoul characters, because they have more curved eyes. Hi, oh my gosh, she just looked at me and did a silent little meow. I'm gonna cry on camera about you, Miss Weiss. You're so cute. Sorry. But if you look at any of, again, the non-Manster dolls, they have eyes that are more akin to the shape of human eyes where it's curves because, people have varying degrees, different eye shapes, but they're natural flowing shapes, right? And for some reason, the Mansters aren't allowed to have that. I don't know why, but we have to indicate that they are in fact men and not soft. God forbid. Even in a line like Monster High in G3 where they actively have a non-binary character. I know there was at least one canonically trans character in the cartoon. And yet with the dolls, we still have to make sure that the boys look manly enough. So their eyes aren't allowed to be curved like that. They have to be very, very angular. And I'm not opposed to a slightly more angular eye. That's not what I'm trying to say. You can stylize that in a way that looks interesting and fun. I think it's just the juxtaposition of the Manster's eyes versus the ghoul's eyes. It is such a clear difference and they do look very stylistically different to me. And it's also it's not that it's a slightly more angular eye, it's a literal hexagon. Like, it's a literal stretched out hexagon if you zoom in on Heath's face. And that's what drives me crazy. Like, I just think that it looks weird. I feel like it doesn't quite fit in. I think that as base dolls, at least, like, I still have, the complaints I made about his clothing. I'm really popping off on Heath. Sorry. I don't hate him. It's just like I said, the eye critique is for all of them answers. But yeah, like, I think as a base doll, he would immediately be so much better if we just softened up those corners on these hexagons a little bit. Like, you can keep a slightly more angular eye if you insist upon this, but it's just too much for me. I don't know. It really bothers me, which is a shame because I think there's so much potential there. He just wasn't allowed to live up to it. So it's not animosity. It's not hatred that I feel towards he. I think he could have been so much, and instead he is not. Okay, that was a long rant. Sorry, I'm gonna try not to do that for every single character. But next up is Gulia. Do I really need to say anything? Any of you who have been around here for a while know that I just don't like zombies. I don't know why my brain is the way it is. I just can't tolerate the thought of them. They genuinely freak me out. So I've never been a Gulia fan. I don't like actively dislike a lot of the changes from this generation. Like, I don't mind that they added the skateboard and kind of made her a little bit more skatery. I don't care that her skin is green. I will say the pink skirt instead of the red, that's atrocious. Not everything has to be pink. I know that pink sells. Not literally everything has to be pink. And Gulia would have looked a lot better if she had red accents like her G1 doll instead of these pink accents. It's just not a vibe. The only reason she's above Heath is because she does have more of an actual, like, proper core look. And I really do like the hoodie that she comes with. Like, I do in general not love, again, zombie themed things, brain themed things, but something about, it's not a hoodie, sorry, it's a jacket. The jacket that she has, I think, is actually a pretty fun piece, and so that alone saved Gulia from being last place. I don't feel like this is an unpopular one. I know a lot of people, even people who are fans of Gulia, are like, she didn't get what she deserved. So sorry, girl. I did forget to say in the intro, I'm not like counting off all of the numbers just because I have a hard enough time with numbers going forwards, let alone trying to go backwards. But I will denote, like, I obviously did 21st place, and then I think 10th, 5th, 3rd, and 1st, obviously. I'll let you know what those are. All the other ones are just sort of sprinkled in between. So with that being said, we are on to Deuce. And I will say his eyes are significantly better. Like, I don't have the core Deuce. I have the coffee break Deuce. I think that's what it was called. I feel like on mine, the eyes are more akin to Heath's eyes. Because I'm zooming in on this picture of the core one, and I'm like, yeah, that's what I mean by you can do an angular eye that doesn't look absolutely ridiculous. Like, these are good eyes. Mine's in like a bin somewhere. But I feel like mine are a lot worse. So I don't know if he got a different screening or what the situation was, or if I'm just misremembering. But the eyes are better on Deuce. Okay, I will give him credit for that. Where he loses points are, while I don't mind the like hairstyle that they've given him here, I don't like the lack of shading on the snakes. Like, I feel like they're just so one-dimensional, and they are a fairly shiny plastic, and so it just looks very, very fake. Like, it's not giving me the illusion of a guy with snakes for hair, like, it's giving like a plastic party like costume wig, and that just really, really bothers me. Like, I wish we could have gotten just a little bit of detail in there. Like, the G1 Corduce had like a little bit of differentiation in the colors of his snakes, and I feel like that just, it's a tiny thing, but it adds so much. And I also am just not a huge fan of the outfit. Specifically, it's the shoes that kill this for me. The rest of it is like, I like the pieces. Whether they go together or not is like iffy for me, but the shoes are so bad. Like, it's really, really bad. So sorry, Deuce. This is just, it's kind of a miss for me. This one might be shocking because if you have seen my channel, you might know that character-wise, and when you account for her other dolls, Twyla is one of my favorites from G3. I relate to her so hard, and I think she's gotten some really, really cute dolls. Her signature doll was not it for me, though. So she came out with the Creepover Party line. So she's another one that, like, wasn't a, like, full signature look. I do think she looks a little bit more signature than Heath, which is part of why she's up higher. Part of it is just that I like her character better. But this is like, I was gonna say it's my least favorite Twilight doll that G3's come out with, but I really hated the Garden Mysteries one. But up until that came out, I don't know. I don't think it's her best doll. I don't think that she's hideous and horrible and ugly. Like I think the base doll is fine. I just don't really care for the outfit whatsoever, and she's had other dolls that I think are significantly better. So as much as I hate to do that to my girl Twilight, as much as I hate to have her so far down, because it is her core look, that's the only reason she's this low. Other dolls, fabulous. This one is just not it for me. Okay, next up we have Claude, and like I'm so mad about this one. Now that I'm looking at him too, he also doesn't have the angular eyes. What was I on about? I did that whole rant for nothing. That's embarrassing. Well, I guess that just applied to Heath. I honest to God thought that was all of them. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is. Whatever. His eyes are better. Claude is so sad for me because when he first came out, I was like, I love his base doll. He's such a cutie patootie. I just really did not like his outfit at all. And so I was like, oh, I'll just wait and eventually we'll get another Claude doll. We're probably never going to see another Manster. So now I don't think he's available like retail anymore or like on sale in retail stores anymore. I think I'm gonna have to find him secondhand and give him a new outfit, which is so aggravating because like I do want a Claude. I think he's very cute. I just didn't like his outfit. And I foolishly assumed that we would be able to see him in other capacities. So yeah, it's just the outfit. It's just the outfit. I'm really messed up about the eyes. Like I cannot believe I was so incorrect there. Wow, bizarre. But yeah, base doll, very nice. Love his hair, love the ears, love like the piercings in the ears and everything. The face sculpt is super cute. I just thought the outfit was really basic and boring and also didn't look very high quality. So he's kind of low on the list. That brings us to Frankie Stein. They're so interesting for me because when we first saw like the first images of these dolls that were going to be coming out, seeing Frankie, I was like, yeah, I'm still not a fan of them because I had never been a fan of them in G1. This core outfit is not for me. It's not working for me. So it's funny because seeing this, like the core G3 Frankie, I was like, I guess I'm just still never going to be a Frankie fan. And then the coffee break Frankie came out, and then I learned to love them. And now I just adore Frankie so much in G3. Like, again, character wise, they're one of my top characters. I don't always love the dolls, but I do have several at this point. So it's just kind of funny looking back. I still obviously am not obsessed with the core doll. I think I'm slightly fonder of them now because now I am attached to the character, but I still think it's just like, it's a little too on the preppy side. And like, I know Frankie in general does have a fairly like edgy meets preppy aesthetic. This is just leaning a little bit too far into the prep for me personally. But it's just like, if I had done this ranking when G3 first came out, they would have been even closer to the bottom. So it's funny to see how my attachment to the character has bumped them up a little bit. We are now entering into the territory of dolls I have. So like all of the previous ones I have obviously had my critiques for, and I haven't liked them enough to purchase them. From here on out, I've bought them. So like I will be critiquing them, and they're obviously still ranked like in ascending order. But I do like all of these. So we're sort of starting out this segment of the ranking with Claudine. I know so many people hate this core doll. And I will say I didn't get her right away. There were other core dolls that I got like the second they hit shelves because I needed them instantaneously. We'll talk about them when we get to them in the ranking. Claudine was one that I did wait a little bit for. Not like a long time, but I did wait a little bit for. And I do agree, like she's definitely not the most standout doll from the first core lineup or from the other Claudines that we've gotten, but I do still think she has charm and I do still think she's pretty cute. I'm not going to get into like any controversy or anything because I know people still are just like hating on how she's like a different character this generation. I don't know. That's not my business. Looking at this from an aesthetic standpoint, again, it's not my favorite. Obviously, we're quite far from number one still, but I really genuinely do think that this is not a horrible look. Like, again, I paid money for her. I think the overalls are really cute, and I do genuinely love the sneakers and like the leg warmers. Like, she's had much better dolls since then, don't get me wrong, but I still do like her. That brings us to Toralei, who again is one that I didn't buy like the second that G3 came out. I waited a little bit, but I still did end up getting her, and I still do really, really like her. I don't know. She's just sort of middle of the road to me. Like, I do think she's a really nice doll. I'm very, very happy that she's on my shelf out of there or over there, out of frame. That's what I was trying to say. But like, she just doesn't stand out to me the way some of the other ones do. So nothing against her. She's sort of just middle of the road for me. Next up is Abby, and it's so crazy to me because again, it's just funny to think about how these lists like would have been different earlier on in like Generation Three's run, because when this doll first came out, she would have been top of the list, no question. She's not even in the top 10 now. I think she just felt so revolutionary because like this was the first one I think that her and Claude I think released at the same time. I want to say that's correct. God, my memory is so bad. But we had like the core lineup of like the main characters, right? And then Abby and Claude were the first ones to kind of add on to that. And so I think she felt, again, so revolutionary. She does have a very, very fun body sculpt. She is tall and curvy and proud. Like, she's wonderful. And I still really do like her. I feel honestly a little bit bad putting her this low down. I just think that, like, over time, there are some of even like the first like original lineup of dolls that I've come to like, look at everything and be like, yeah, I do think I still like those better. And also we've just gotten more core dolls that I like better. So again, I don't dislike Abby. There are just other ones that are a little bit closer to my heart. God, I feel so mean saying that because like looking at the picture and even like if I look at my doll, she's so cute. But I will confess, even though I don't tend to care about hair fiber, the fact that she has polypropylene is a big part of why she's not higher on the list. And it's honestly not even because of the fiber, because like I do understand, like I completely get why people hate poly and I don't love it. Like it's my least favorite hair fiber. I will tolerate it if the design is good enough though. Like it's not a deal breaker for me the way it is for some people. And obviously no judgment if it is for you. Everyone likes different things. But like, as long as it doesn't look absolutely ridiculous and the rest of the doll is gorgeous, I can handle the poly. And that is the case for Abby. The reason it is affecting her specifically is because she has two very cute little horns on her head that are sculpted in that are just so precious. And you can't see them because the poly doesn't lay flat enough. So, like, again, normally hair fiber is not like one of my top criteria for a doll. It just specifically impacts Abby because it impacts being able to see a very cute part of her sculpt. So that's why she's a little bit lower. And our next step, I feel like really illustrates that point because frankly, if Abby didn't have poly hair and if I could easily see her horns, she would have been above Cupid. But Cupid goes above because I can't see Abby's horns. I really like I think it's funny because I do think that Cupid was one of the better received core dolls, especially from people who like are strictly G1, like G1 purists. I feel like we're less angry about Cupid than they were about some other dolls that like have had G3 iterations. But for me, I just like I had to put in effort to get this doll looking the way I wanted her to look. There is still a lot that I love. I think the legs are incredible. I think the face is immaculate. The hair blend is really gorgeous. Like the sort of cage skirt situation and the overlay on top of that, really, really nice. Two things that I do not like: the headband. That's pretty. It's the coloring, the painting and lack thereof on the headband is quite bad. And then the I'm trying not to curse, not because I don't curse, but because it means more effort when I edit. I'm so lazy. The like romper situation that she has, first of all, when it was like just a description that had leaked for her, I think it was described as bloomers. And so I really got my hopes up. And like they do have a sort of bloomer-esque bottom to them. But what kills me is the print. This candy heart print is so cheap when you compare it to the rest of the outfit. Like everything else looks so nice and beautiful. And then she's got this stupid juvenile candy heart print. And like, I'm sure you could use that in a fun way on a design that looks like it fits in. It doesn't fit in for Cupid. So for me, I turned her headband around. So I didn't have to see those teal painted hearts. And then I like very meticulously painted the body of her romper black because I just think it looks so bad with the candy hearts. Like it's kind of a mess. So yeah, she would have been lower because I feel like she's got some incredible elements for sure. But as she comes, she's not perfect for me. She would have been below Abby if Abby had hair that let you see her horns. But this is where we are, so this is how we rank them. This one might be another surprise. We have my lovely, wonderful girl, Caddy. I know, she's pretty low down. I feel so bad because I adore this doll so much. She made me cry when I unboxed her because of her body mold. Like, I just really genuinely appreciate the diversity that her body like adds to the lineup, and it is incredible to see a doll who is shaped a little bit more like me. Like, I feel so connected to Caddy. I love her so much. I have her on the shelf over here, and I also have a second one that I need to open up because I want to redress her in another outfit because that's how much I love her. I almost never buy duplicates, and I have a duplicate of Caddy. That being said, I am in fact forced to rank her as she is. So there's a couple things bringing her down. One, because her body sculpt did get more of the budget, the outfit is like a little bit iffy. I don't hate most of it. It just is very clear that like it did have less budget put in. So I did chrome out certain pieces of mine to kind of add more detail to her. And I love her so much more like that. But like, that's not how she comes. But the big kicker is this fuck ass, there I am cursing, giving myself more work, but it deserves it. That fuck ass shrug that she has is genuinely the worst texture that I have ever felt on any doll that I have ever unboxed. And I feel like that might sound like an exaggeration. It's not. I'm being so serious. I couldn't stand to touch it. I got it off her and flung it away from me. I did not. It was bad. I feel like for me, sensory like wise, texture is not the biggest issue that I have. Like most textures I can at least tolerate. I might not like them, but I can generally tolerate most textures, even ones that like more people who have sensory issues dislike. Like I know microfiber is a very popular texture to not be able to handle. I have no problem with it. This, whatever plastic that was made of, was so horrific. Like I genuinely couldn't touch it. I genuinely couldn't touch it. So that brings her down because she was high highs and low lows, incredible, crying over her body, loving her so much, but also having a sensory nightmare with that little shrug thing. So it hurts, but she has to be ranked here. And that sees us breaking into the top 10 with Laguna. I feel like she was another very controversial one when she came out. The whole Laguna blue, Laguna pink thing, whatever. We're not going to get into that again. I really liked her though. Like, I know a lot of people weren't a huge fan of this look. A lot of people were too. Like, I'm not trying to be like, I'm the only one who liked her. That's not what I'm saying. But like, I do feel like compared to some of the other dolls from that very first lineup, I do think Laguna got a bit more critique. I still think this holds up. I still think she's genuinely very, very cute. Her whole design is quite maximalist, quite colorful, and I definitely think she has better dolls that have released since this doll came out. Like, this is not my top favorite Laguna doll, but when we're just looking at the core looks, I really do genuinely still love this one. I have her. I literally have all of these after Claudine. I really think she's quite cute. I love all the colors that she's got going on. I do like maximalist designs when they're done right. So the color splash I think is quite fun for her. I love the shoes. I love the transparent legs. Like, she's just such a vibe. I just like other ones more. That brings us to Meowlity. I just think she's precious. She's just such a little cutie patootie. I love her outfit. She has like a cute little like collar situation going on. Like, she has the collar to her shirt, but she has like a collar with like a bell on it. It's just so precious. I love her pigtails. I love the hair blend and everything for her. Like, she's just a werecat cutie patootie. Of course she was going to be high up. Next up is the mascot of Monster High, despite however hard they try to make other characters main characters. It is Draculaura. I think it's so funny because like in G1, Frankie was definitely like the mainest of the main characters. And then I think G2 did have Draculaura sort of as like the main character. G3 attempted to have Claudine be the main character, and Claudine is definitely more central to like the plot points in the show. But no matter who story-wise is supposed to be the main character, Draculaura is like fan favorite, always sells. She's in all of the lines. Ironically enough, that fact does also make people dislike her, but like there's enough people that just adore her that she's always kind of going to be on top. She's not full top for me, but she is still really, really good. She was one of two dolls that I got like first from G3. So I kind of skipped over that with Laguna. Sorry. Laguna I got the day that G3 officially launched. The Cleo and then the Draculaura I was able to find early. Like they were both just kind of oopsies on Walmart shelves. So she was one of the first two that I got. I do really genuinely love her. I still think this doll holds up, even though there have been better Draculauras. I think she's very cute. At this point, it truly does just come down to there are other dolls I like better. Like I have no problems with her, but there are just other dolls I like better. The first of which is Persephone. Like, she's so good. She obviously is twins with Meowlity. I really love this generation, though, that they have more distinct aesthetics and they do even have different face sculpts. And honestly, the face sculpt is like the number one reason that Persephone is up this high. I do think her outfit is genuinely cute. Like, everything about her I do love, but something about her face sculpt is just so incredible to me. I feel like I've talked about it so much, and so I feel bad because I'm like, I'm repeating myself again. But she doesn't have a defined Cupid's bow, and like I feel like that's rather rare on dolls. And I feel like I have to say this every time just because I don't want to accidentally hurt anybody's feelings. I have no problems with the Cupid's bow. I have a pretty defined one myself, and I personally really like it on me. But I just feel like we don't see as many dolls that don't have a defined Cupid's bow. And so it stands out. And I just think she looks so pretty. Like her whole face structure, it's just so lovely. And especially as someone who tends to not notice face sculpts as much, the fact that the face sculpt is what gets me on this doll, I feel like that says a lot. So she's pretty high up because I just think she's a cutie patootie. Next up is my girl Cleo, who is another one that did have a very specific criticism when she came out, and that was her boots. People hated these boots. I do think over time, generally speaking, as a community, people have sort of warmed up to them. They don't hate them quite as much. I don't mind them. Like, I will say I think that they are maybe my least favorite thing about her outfit, but I've never hated them the way that some people did. And I'm very biased towards Cleo in general, especially this generation. Like the jubilation that I experienced when I realized that Cleo was going to have default like dark blue hair, y'all. It was incredible because one of my favorite dolls of her from G1 is her Boo York doll because I think that midnight blue hair is so unbelievably pretty and like flattering for Cleo. So finding out that G3 Cleo, that's like her default, that's what she just comes with. I was ecstatic and I'm still like, she's just so pretty. She's just so pretty. That's really all I have to say. Aesthetically speaking, Cleo is like a character that I just always feel drawn to. I just almost always love her dolls. She's, again, as many of these have, has had better iterations. Like if Core Refresh was accounted for in this lineup, she'd be up even higher than she is. But even this first core look, I really think it stands out and I think it holds up and I think she's just absolutely gorgeous. But her sister did beat her out, taking fifth place. The recent Nephra Denial release is just so stunning. Like, she just takes my breath away. And I said this is like one of the biggest points of why I like her so much when I reviewed her. I think it's very impressive that they managed to have a color palette with so many colors and it feels cohesive to me. Obviously, you're free to disagree, but for me, I just feel like every color included feels balanced. It doesn't feel like, oh, her shoes are black and there's no black anywhere else, and her top is like purple and there's no purple anywhere else. Like, we have seen designs like that, and it always aggravates me. She is so colorful and so vibrant, but also the colors are just enough of like a jewel tone to where it doesn't feel like she's sort of encroaching on Laguna's territory of like the very, very vibrant colors, if that makes sense. They're so balanced. She's just so good. She's just so good. Honestly, the top five was very hard. They were all sort of contenders for first. So like she's fifth place. But on a different day, I very easily could be convinced that she should be higher up. She's an amazing doll, but she's not better than my girl Spectra. Listen, someone has to love Spectra because apparently she's not selling well. And I'm really scared that we're never going to get another G3 doll of her. Like, I don't even want to think about that. I'm not joking when I say I could cry. You can probably hear it in my voice. Like, if we don't get another Spectra doll, I'm going to have to just buy a ton of these secondhand and make my own because I cannot accept not having any more of my girl. I just love her so much. Y'all know she's a very, very important character for me personally, like back from Gen 1. Like, she's important to my collecting story. So I was both overjoyed and extremely nervous to find out that she was going to be getting a G3 doll, because it's like, obviously I want to see her get a G3 doll, but I'm so scared they're going to do her dirty. And then she came out like this. I'm happy. I'm so happy. I mean, she's in 4th place. I love her so much. I really think that they did her so well. Thank God they went with these nice cool toned purples for her instead of like a pinkish color, because I hate that on Spectra. I think the romper's so fun. Like, the overall silhouette of her, the dramatic sleeves, there's literally like nothing wrong with her. She's just incredible. So again, 5th place onward was unreal difficult to try to place these characters, but she's a tentative 4th place. Top 3 is going to be kicked off with Venus McFlytrap. Like, obviously she had to be so high up. Another one that, if this had been a ranking that I had done a little bit earlier, she would have been number 1, unquestioningly. I feel like this doll, like, reset the, like, opinion of G3 in a way. Like, she was just such a bombshell when she came out. So unbelievably gorgeous. The face sculpt, the hair, like the twists, the style, everything about her is so monumental and so gorgeous. Like, she's an absolute icon for G3. I don't want to keep saying the same thing over and over again, but like, even now you could convince me that she should be number 1. There's just a couple more that I think I might like a little bit better. But my God, Venus is incredible. Okay, so 2nd place goes to a doll that is technically unreleased, which maybe counts as cheating, but we have a stock photo for her. So like, if she's good enough for me to show in my videos without me being worried about copyright, she's good enough to be included in the ranking. And that is the G3 Escalita doll. Holy shit. I just posted a review of the Dia de Muertos Escalita for 2025. I almost said for 2026. We're not there yet. But like, that doll is incredible. I think that doll is like the pinnacle of G1 Scalita for me. Looking at this G3 Scalita though, she's a contender. And that was a collector doll, and this is just like a regular doll. Like, she's unreal. I feel like she has a similarly complex face sculpt, or not sculpt, sorry, screening, where she's just got so much going on, but it's so gorgeous. The silhouette of her dress is immaculate. The colors are beautiful. Again, they feel very balanced. It's just, I'm in awe of this doll. I'm utterly in awe of her, and I cannot wait for her to come out. You best believe as soon as she is available, add to cart, she's coming home. I need her. But there's still one doll that I think is better, and I feel like it might be a little surprising, but it's going to be the G3 Jennifer doll, which, like, it's surprising to me. If you saw, not like that long ago, I did a video of my like Monster High collection, and I talked about the fact that I feel like I don't think about G3 Jennifer as being like one of my favorite G3 dolls, or even one of my favorite Monster High dolls. Like, she is an underrated star for me. But when I actually took the time to sit down and look at each one of these core dolls, and I was trying to organize them, she's fucking incredible. Like, she's such a beautiful doll. I feel like the colors that she utilizes in her design are not necessarily colors that I would expect to go together, but somehow they do so well for her. Like, specifically the green and the purple. I think maybe just because of like when I grew up, I immediately think Barney when I see green and purple, but she is not giving Barney at all. And then the green and red, I immediately think Christmas, but she's not giving Christmas either. Like, I'm just amazed by how well these colors are utilized. I think her face is unreal pretty. She's got such a cool hand sculpt, and also all of her pieces feel so detailed and so nice. Like, the skirt, the fabric is so beautiful. That jacket is incredibly crafted. Like, I don't know why I don't think about her. I feel like I need to think about her more. I don't know why she has flown under the radar for me, despite literally owning her. But again, once I sat down and looked at them all, Jennifer. Jennifer comes out on top. It's still close. Again, to repeat myself for the upteenth time, the entire top 5 is sort of in flux. I think they're all perfect dolls. But something about Jennifer right now is just hitting so different. I can't stop staring in her face. Like, I'm looking at this picture and I'm just mesmerized. She's incredible. So for now, she's going to be what I would consider the best G3 core doll. But the fun part is that G3 is still going on. We still are going to be getting core dolls. I know for sure Rebecca has been confirmed to be coming to G3, I think next year. I'm super excited to get to see what she looks like in this iteration of Monster High. So this is probably not how the list will stay forever. And like some point down the line, I might do this again, maybe like once G3 ends, or like if it's been around for long enough to have added a significant number of characters. But yeah, that's the list for now. I really just love G3. Y'all know that. So even all the way down to the bottom, even Heath, I don't actively hate him. I think there's something to enjoy about all of these dolls, but that top 5, y'all, is just, it hits so different. So that is my ranking for all of the core dolls. If you'd like to do an entire ranking in the comments, if you're very ambitious like that, feel free. I mean, like 21 is definitely easier than how many it was in the G1 ranking. Or if you just want to highlight like your least favorites and your most favorites, I'd be happy to hear that as well. Y'all know I love hearing your opinions, so do feel free to sound out down below. But I'm finally done for today, so I do hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I hope you have a lovely rest of your day or your night or whatever it might be, and I will catch you in the next one. Bye, guys.